You've seen him in Law and Order SVU and some of the really great film favorites. All of the Jurassic Park films or Jurassic World films. He was also in Bird Box. I know some of you guys remember his scene. OMG. The Space Between Us, Stay, and that's just to name a few. Today he's joining us to talk about the Comedy Central series, Awkwafina Is Nora from Queens. BD Wong will be joining us right here on Sidewalks Entertainment. I'd like to welcome award-winning actor BD Wong to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi, BD, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you, Lori? Where are you in the city right now?
At home?
Oh, okay. Oh, cover blown. Yes, great. I'm happy to. I grew up in the Sunset. I was just kind of comparing notes.
Oh, okay. So inner Richmond. I'm over off of California. Wait, I almost just said where I live on television. I'll just give you my address. Awesome. Well, so yeah, that's right. You're from San Francisco. You went to Abraham Lincoln High School.
I did, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you're actually the second alum from that high school that I've interviewed. The author that wrote Percy Jackson and the Olympians, he actually also went to Abraham Lincoln High School.
Wow. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, small
okay,
world,
great.
huh? Yeah. So before we talk about Awkwafina Is Nora from Queens, I want to talk a little bit about some of your earlier work. You've been in so many fan favorite TV and film projects. How did you start your career as an actor, and what was your experience like getting casted for your first paid on-screen acting role?
Wow. Well, I have to try to remember because I was living in Los Angeles when I started getting work in television and film in these tiny little parts. And there were several different situations that come to mind. One was I had a tiny little part in the movie The Karate Kid 2 with Tamlin Tomita and Ralph Macchio. And I was a boy passing out flyers on the street to come to the dance. And that's the dance that they end up going to and all the stuff happens. Right. And then I was a photomat boy. That really is dating me. I was a photomat boy, which was like a little booth where you get your pictures developed, like photographs. And that was in a television show called Simon and Simon.
Oh, wow.
That was like in the 80s, I think. And that was a television show. And that was probably those are my two first jobs, actually. I had done other jobs, I had gotten theater jobs, and I had the theater job that I got was a tour that ended up getting me to LA, and that is where I started working in LA. So as far as television and film is concerned, those were my two first jobs.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And Karate Kid, I remember that classic. So many of us were big fans of your work on Law and Order SVU.
Yes.
Looking back, what did you enjoy most about the character you played and working on that show?
I love playing a person who is such a good listener. I think the thing about him that was really important was that he was able to kind of draw people out and in the interview process. And that came from being a strong listener, I think. And I had played two parts kind of back to back. I played a priest on Oz, the television show on HBO. And those two characters kind of really taught me that kind of therapeutic, calming energy that therapists and priests have that is so valuable in our relationships as listeners, and so that's one of the main thing that I like about him. People like to talk about the information that he comes in and he kind of drops a bomb of information that kind of sets the case it's into orbit, as it were. And so I like being that person, but I really more like just the fact that he kind of draws people out in that way because of his his kind of energy. People like to say that they watch the show really late at night. It's on and repeat late at night, and it kind of, that my voice puts them to sleep.
You do. You really do have a soothing voice, even just in regular conversation.
Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, and now you're Wally, Nora's dad, in the Comedy Central series, Awkwafina Is Nora from Queens. What was it about the series that made you want to be a part of it?
Awkwafina was really a star on the rise, and I was watching her and really rooting for her at the moment that I got the call to play her dad. And so I really jumped at the chance to do it. I was fully aware that she was a thing, and I wanted to be a part of that thing. And I wanted to have the experience of, first of all, I have never played a dad before. I really was really ready to kind of have that experience. And like I tell people, I get to play a person, not a person who imparts information or kind of changes the course of the story through their information, but through who they are and what their relationship is to the other characters in the story. And that's a color of a kind of character that is very rare for me. I don't know, I've always played kind of intellectual characters or talking head kind of characters. And this, to be a person that has a heartbeat, that has relationships and wants things and affects the story because of their humanity, is a big difference for me. I don't know if either the audience or the fans can notice it, but for me, it's a huge, huge difference. I've never had a relationship, as it were, in a television show. And so I have this great relationship with the actor Jennifer Esposito, who plays Brenda on the show. And our arc is really wild and wonderful and has a really great ending in season 3 of the show. And so I guess those were the things that drew me to it, the quality of the part and the humanity of him and Awkwafina herself.
So from what I understand, the series is based on real life experiences of Awkwafina's real life experiences. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
So when it comes to preparing for your character, I mean, your character is based on a real person. How does that affect how you prepare for your character and portray him?
Oh, I like that question. It affects it because I do feel a certain amount. There's a liberty that you have as an actor, and Awkwafina herself will say, hey, this is your part, go with it, play it the way that you want to play it. And then there are also elements of it where you go, well, this really happened, and how did it happen? And how can you help me illuminate the way that I play this, or the way that I look at it, because of you're telling me what happened, what actually happened in more detail. And so there are lots of times when I've gone to her and said, well, why, what is this? This seems a little weird. What happened here? And she says, well, my dad went to a concert and he got high and he couldn't stop standing up. And he kept standing up and disrupting the audience because he was so high. And he kept clapping loudly and screaming at the audience. And at first, when I read the script, I thought, I don't understand this scene at all. Why is he getting up all this time? She's saying, this is just a thing that really happened to my dad. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it became like a family story, right? A family like, oh yeah, remember when dad did that? And then I knew kind of a little bit more how to do it. Well, these things kind of happen a lot. Like they happen. A lot of the stuff that happens in the show, as crazy as some of it sounds, a lot of stuff actually has happened to her, and that the truth that she's mining from her own life is part of what makes it organic. Like you can't argue with it if it really happened, right? So that's kind of part of where some of these choices come from, and other ones are invented, of course.
Yeah.
But I think that I was always taught, to kind of have reverence or respect for a real life person that you're playing or a real life situation, because that's where the truth lies. And so I do that. This is a very wacky show, so there's a little bit more liberty than you would have in a more strict kind of show. But I think that that as a tool for your research is really great.
Awesome. Well, sadly, we are out of time, but you're just fantastic. Thank you so much, BD. I had such a great time speaking with you today.
Of course, golly, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Everyone, be sure to watch BD Wong in the Comedy Central series, Awkwafina Is Nora from Queens.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit us at sidewalkstv.com, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on social media.